What's up, guys? Young Bucks, old goats. Gonna take a break from the Dolphin season to injury news and talk a little baseball with you guys today. I had the opportunity to go check out the Dodgers' third game versus the Marlins, and unfortunately, Miami fans have been reduced to getting their kicks in when other teams come to town and set records. So I kind of watched it the first couple of games, see if he would get close to the 50-50. And Shohei Ohtani, I think he had like a homer one game and a steal, and then he was a couple steals away, or one steal away, and then a couple of homers away. So I jumped at the chance. Game 3, went out there with the kids, and obviously he had a great game. I didn't realize till later how much of a great game and how everybody referenced how it might have been the greatest game of all time. So I started to do a little homework on it, and I'm gonna tell you what he did. You saw it probably, but I'm also gonna run down some of the other greatest days in MLB history to see how it compares, and then you can be the judge on what you think. But it was an electric atmosphere at the stadium that I hadn't seen ever at this stadium at any game that I've been to. I've probably been to like 30 games at the stadium maybe, or something like that. I went to a lot more games at when they used to play out at formerly Hard Rock, formerly known as Joe Robbie, playoff games, World Series games. Got to see the whole peak of the steroid era when McGuire came to town and Sosa came to town. It was kind of that kind of vibe. He did so many things. This dude really has a flair for the dramatic. He's incredible, man. He went 6 for 6, 3 home runs, 2 doubles, a single, 2 stolen bases, 10 RBIs. The night could have been even more historic. The first double hit off the wall, close to a home run. That would have been, imagine, 6 for 6 with 4 homers. He was even thrown out at third trying to stretch a single into a triple. That would have been 6 for 6 and a cycle. On top of that, in this game, he reached 50-50. He reached both the 50th stolen base and the 50th home run, which has never been done. Just amazing. Like I said, flair for the dramatic. When he did the 40-40, he got the 40th stolen base in that game. He got the 40th homer, and he got a walk-off grand slam in that game. So it's just preposterous what he's doing. Oh, by the way, the Dodgers clinched a playoff spot in that game, which is like the third or fourth storyline in that game. So since the RBI became official in 1920, only one MLB player has had over the course of his entire career, same game or not, a game with 10 RBIs, a game with 6 hits, a game with 5 extra base hits, a game with 3 homers, a game with 2 stolen bases. The only player to do that, Shohei Ohtani, he did all of it in that game versus the Marlins, which ended up being a 20-4 rout. But even the Marlins hit 3 home runs that game, so it was a wild game. That 50th home run ball, they were mentioning that ball could be worth $200,000 minimum. The dude who caught the ball, and there's footage of it on the channel if you want to check it out, over in the formerly Clevelander bar, which I think it's called the Recess Bar now. It landed there. My damn kids won't let me forget about that. They kept saying, let's go sit in the bar. Let's go sit in the bar, because they like to sit next to the bullpen and pester those guys for balls and stuff all the time. So I was like, you know what? We'll do that at the end if you want to go do that. But he doesn't really hit a lot of opposite field home runs. Well, wouldn't you know it? The 50th home run ball was an opposite field home run. Check out the video. I think I would have got that ball if I was in that spot. There was a dude in a red jersey like this one, the Sugar Canes jersey. He was lollygagging on that ball, man. You got to dive. And then there was another dude who had a chance initially to catch it after it hit off the facade there. that was a little bit out of his reach, but then it bounced and he had it within, it looked like inches, and I don't know, you got to die for that one. Then it hit on a table down there in the bar, and this one dude had a shot at it, and then this other guy came, rushing in, taking care of business, dove in there, finally got the ball. He negotiated a little bit with the team, but he decided not to part ways with the ball, which they're never going to give him what that ball's worth. I mean, maybe you get to meet Ohtani if that's important to you, which you probably won't be able to get. But anything else they're going to give you, signed balls, bats, jerseys, you could buy all that with the money that you'll get selling that ball. And he opted to keep it. So we'll keep our eyes peeled to see what happened to that. But all right, so he also, and then the next night he went 3 for 4 with a homer. So he went in a stretch of 9 for 10. The following game, which was just tonight, as of the recording, he only had 1 hit. But still, he had a stretch of 9 for 10 with 4 home runs and I think 3 stolen bases. Also broke Ricky Henderson's record for games with home run and a stolen base, which 14. So he broke that record. It just seems like you can't write this stuff up, It just, it's just insane. So, yeah, nobody's talking about the gambling stuff anymore, probably. Everybody's just oohing and ahhing, including myself, over the stuff this guy's doing. There's some whispers he might pitch in the postseason. I don't know if they'll end up doing that, but that would be crazy. That would be the capper for them to win the World Series. All right, but this video is about greatest individual single-day performances in baseball. And in between, I'll just throw you like some kind of crazy tidbits too about individual crazy days. Not the best of all time, but kind of weird and wacky stuff that happens in baseball sometimes. For example, back in 1942, Jim Tobin was a pitcher, and he hit 3 home runs as a pitcher. Of course, Otani's a pitcher, but he's not your traditional pitcher. He's not pitching this year, but that was pretty crazy. So first, I'll start you off with some crazy days that happened, including a cycle, which Ohtani almost did, got thrown out at third. Cycle, of course, is hitting for a single, double, triple, and a homer. That's a pretty rare occurrence. I'll tell you in a little while how rare that is. But also former Marlin, Christian Yelich, he went 6 for 6 one day with a cycle. That was versus the Reds, August 29th, 2018. And what was interesting about his cycle, he did it again less than a month later on September 17th, 2018. So his first cycle came in a 13-12 extra inning win. That was a 6 for 6. So that one was pretty crazy. Benji Molina was a pretty crazy cycle for a catcher. And he had a grand slam in that one. Not the fleet of foot Benji Molina of the Fighting Molina brothers. So that was a pretty crazy game. Not best all time, just throwing out some crazy games. And some other rarities with the cycle in particular is there's only been 14 natural cycles in MLB history. That's when you hit for the cycle in order: single, double, triple, homer. And there's only been 18 4-homer days in MLB history, which he was close to doing that. A couple of other single-day greatest performance games here. Red Sox, Fred Lynn as a rookie, Tiger Stadium. He went 5 for 6 with 3 home runs, a triple, 10 RBIs, 16 total bases. Back to Ohtani for a second, if I gave you the whole stat line here. 6 for 6, 3 homers, 2 doubles, a single, 2 stolen bases, 10 RBIs, 17 total bases was what he had. The second most probably agreed upon greatest day in MLB history, single day batting performance, is another Dodger great, Shawn Green, who's Ohtani broke his single season home run record as a Dodger. Had a doozy of a day back in May 23rd, 2002, Dodgers versus Brewers. 4 home runs, 6 for 6, a double, a single, 6 runs scored, 7 RBIs. He had gone a week without a home run. 19 total bases in that game. So that does eclipse what Ohtani did as far as total bases and home runs, but not the RBIs and not the stolen bases. And on that Sean Green day, the Dodgers won 16-3. Reggie Jackson had a huge day one day, and this game probably more important due to the game that he did it on. It was a World Series game, 3 home runs, 3 different pitchers, and they were on 3 consecutive pitches. So that was pretty crazy. I believe that was 1977, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, October 18, 1977, World Series Game 6 versus the Dodgers. A lot of connections here with the Dodgers. Ty Cobb, one of my all-time favorite old school guys, as a 30-year-old player manager for the Tigers, went 6 for 6, 3 homers, 16 total bases. At the time, an AL record, still a Tiger record. Couple of infield singles. Did get caught stealing at third base. 5 RBIs, 4 runs. That was a 14-8 win versus the old St. Louis Browns. Kirby Puckett, back in August 30th of 1987, he had a 6 for 6 day. That was at the Brewers. I'm noticing the Brewers are taking the brunt of a lot of these shellackings. Kirby Puckett, 6 for 6, August 30th, 1987 at Brewers. He had gone 4 for 5 the night before. So 10 of 11, which is insane. 4 home runs, less than 24 hours. His game included 2 homers, 2 doubles, 2 singles, 14 total bases. Josh Hamilton took the league by storm at one time. He had a 5 for 5 night with 4 home runs, 1 double, 8 RBIs, 18 total bases. That was a 10-3 win, Rangers over the Orioles. Joe Adcock, back in July 31st, 1954, Braves versus the Brooklyn Dodgers. We continue with the Dodgers connections here. 5 for 5, 4 homers, a double. That was a 15-7 win. 18 total bases. At the time, a Dodger record, later broken by Sean Green. And I'll just throw in, since I was at the Marlins game, this is not one of the best games of all time, but if you're wondering what's the Marlins' greatest single-day offensive performance, that would be he of 4th outfielder fame, kind of scrappy guy, did have some good postseason runs with the Giants, Cody Ross. And Cody Ross, on September 11th, 2016, in a 16-5 win over the Mets, went 4 for 5, 3 homers, 7 RBIs, 3 runs. There was a infield single thrown in there. And by the way, 6, that's a Marlins record. 6 other Marlins have had 7 RBIs in one game. Brian Anderson, 2020. Greg Colburn, 1995. Adam Dunn, 2021. Aidini Hechavarria, 2013. And Gary Sheffield, the chef, 1995. All right, another one here. Mets, August 30th, 1999, at Astros. We're in the middle of the steroid era right there. 17-1 rout. And I believe this is Edgar Alfonzo. Let me check the notes real quick, because I didn't write his name. And I want to make sure. Yep, Edgar Alfonzo. 6 for 6, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 6 runs, 6 total bases. And as happens sometimes, he was in the midst of like a 3 for 30 slump heading into the road trip. Okay, Anthony Rendon heading into the game homerless on April 30th, 2017. Nationals versus Mets. 6 for 6, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. Besides the 3 homers, he threw in 2 singles, 1 double, 15 total bases. He hit a 388-foot double that was almost a grand slam, but not quite. So the day could have been even better. July 30th, 2018, Cardinals at Cubs. Matt Carpenter, 5 for 5, 3 homers, a double, 16 total bases, 7 RBIs. Chicago Cubs at the Reds, June 27th, 2016. Chris Bryant in an 11-8 win. 5 hits, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 16 total bases, 6 RBIs. All right, I'm going back to 1975 here, September 16th. Rennie Stenner, Pirates versus the Cubs. 7 for 7. That's the only time that's ever happened in a 9-inning game. 22-0 rout. He had a triple, couple of doubles, 4 singles, 11 total bases. And then he was pinch run for, which I probably would have been a little bit pissed about if I was him. But he didn't, his place didn't come up to bat again, so it didn't give him a chance to go away for 8 or anything. That would have been kind of tragic. Of all people, Willie Randolph pinch ran for him, which I didn't even know Willie Randolph was a Pirate in his rookie year before all those seasons with the Yankees. Red Scooter Gennett, June 6, 2017, which a name like Scooter Gennett sounds like it was in 1917, but it was, in fact, in 2017. 13-1 route. He goes 5 for 5, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. 17 total bases is a franchise record. Grand slam included. Night before, he had snapped an 0 for 17 skid. The Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, RIP. April 30th, 1961. Not the Brewers, but it was a Milwaukee club who later became the Braves. Milwaukee Braves, Atlanta Braves. He went 4 for 5 with 4 homers, 4 runs, 8 RBIs, 16 bases. That game was crazy. Hank Aaron also hit 2 home runs in that game. What a game. That was a 14-4 win. And going to the 70s now, Padres, August 1st, 1972 versus the Braves. Doubleheader. First game, 4 for 5. Okay, who is this, though? Come on, Randy. 1972. Who's writing these notes? Can you guess who this is? Padres, August 1st, 1972. You'll never guess. Versus the Braves. First game, 4 for 5, 2 home runs, 5 RBI. Second game, 3 homers, 7 for 9 day with 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. Only Stan Musial is the only player to have 5 home runs in a doubleheader. This is Nate Colbert. September 17th, 1993, Mark Whiten for the Cardinals. 4 home runs, a grand slam, 2 3-run homers, 12 runs. Not 12 runs. 12 RBIs in a 15-2 win. The 12 RBIs is an MLB record. Sort of wrapping up these greatest games. This is not one of the greatest games of all time, but I wanted to throw it in. It's one of my favorite stories and one of the rarest things to ever happen in an MLB game. Probably will never happen again. April 23, 1999. Again, right smack dab in the steroid era. Fernando Tatis, not Junior, who's playing now, who had his own PED problems. His dad, Tatis Jr., was 4 months at the time. Dude hit 2 grand slams, not in the same game, in the same inning. Even more ridiculous, he hit both grand slams off the same pitcher, which was Chan Ho Park, which was really no slouch. So that's crazy. It was a 12-5 win for the Cardinals, but he didn't do anything else in any of his other at-bats. 2 for 5, 2 homers, 8 RBIs, struck out a couple times, probably swinging for the fences. I believe the 2 grand slams were in the 3rd inning. And this was against the Dodgers, another Dodger connection here. And his son later had a couple of home runs in the same game against the Dodgers. The line on Chan Ho Park that day, and this will probably never happen, that a pitcher gives up 2 grand slams in the same inning, because no manager would be so diabolical to let their pitcher even have the opportunity. But Davey Johnson did it that day. 2 2/3 inning, 8 hits, 11 runs, 6 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 3 home runs. So the odds of that happening are, there's been 4 million innings in MLB history. It's only happened once. Somebody crunched the numbers here at one time, and the odds are 12 million to 1. There's been 127 chances in MLB history. But I think it's probably pretty clear that the game that Otani had versus the Marlins a couple of nights ago is probably the greatest offensive performance in MLB history. Again, the dude was 6 for 6, 3 home runs, 2 doubles, a single, 2 steals, 10 RBIs. It was nearly better by the just barely missed home run off the wall, getting thrown out at 3rd. What do you think? Did I miss some of your favorites out there? What do you think is the greatest day in MLB history as far as hitting? We didn't even get into pitchers because that's a whole nother animal. But pretty wild what this guy's doing. It's going to be exciting to see what they can do in the playoffs. It's going to be exciting to see him pitch again. Just insane. But that's all I got for you guys today. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.